You caught me. I'm behind the bar. I just, you know, wandered about and sort of popped around by the bar because, well, it was fun and interesting. And hi, Zara.
Hi.
Hey, how are you doing? Are you enjoying the show?
A lot, yeah.
A lot. And who is your favourite person on the show?
It's you, of course.
That wasn't set up at all, was it? Thank you, Zara.
You didn't tell me that before.
I what?
You didn't tell me that before.
I didn't tell her that before at all. So, with the awkwardness out of the way, let's take a look at the bracket to show you where we are right now in this round of 16. She's got me all hot and bothered. The round of 16, Group D. On the screen right now, you can see that Vortex is our first player through to the round of 8 from Group D. Just one spot remains in that round of 8. Who's it going to be? MC's going to wait in the bottom half of the bracket for our next matchup, which is going to be a very tense match indeed. TitaN versus MaNa. These two lost their opening games, as you can see on the screen right now, and having come through a very difficult round of 32. In MaNa's case, that 2-0 defeat to TLO is going to be washed away. It's one game or go home to Challenger League, where they might meet a man who's also at the bar in the form of Marine King. Yeah, he's here as well. But which one's it going to be? A very, very tense match incoming. We're about to find out with Apollo and Colaris.
Thanks very much, Paul. We now have only Protoss left here in Group D. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it?
Who would have thought that, Colaris? Who would have thought that?
Sorry, Sean.
I think a Protoss will go through second place.
I'm not going to dispute it. I'm not going to dispute it. It's certainly a bold prediction. But now we have Mr. MaNa going to go up against TitaN.
Who wins? In your mind?
Wait.
All right, we have to do it in hand signals. You have to do it in hand signal. I'm going to make mine really easy, but you can go ahead and complicate yours as much as you want. But in your hands, you now have to communicate which one you want to win.
I'll just do this, and then... Because that's just what MaNa did to me just then.
So is that MaNa?
I guess I'll have to.
I'm going to make it really easy for you.
That was... Yeah. That's pretty...
That's really smart, right? That's really easy and simple.
Even production tells you you're so smart.
That's who I think is going to win. It's this guy.
I do like TitaNs, though. I do like TitaNs.
I know. Your favorite show.
Yeah.
Your favorite show.
Well,
attack against the Titans.
Attack on TitaN.
Attack on. Sorry.
Close, man.
Wrong word.
Close.
Wrong word. Attack on Titans. I'll give it a watch just for you.
Yeah.
And if TitaN goes through second place, I'll also watch for him too. I'll share it.
Oh, that's so
I'll
kind
share
of
the
you.
moments.
All right. Well, MaNa's going to be vetoing first here, as he gets rid of Neoplanet S. It being PvP, it's not the hugest of deals, but it just kind of favors to each other's playstyles if they want to get rid of the smaller maps like Neoplanet S. So it alleviates a little bit of that earlier aggression.
One thing that I thinking about Neoplanet S is MaNa's style in PvP. And this is older, because I haven't seen him play PvP in a long time. He hasn't been in a lot of big tournaments recently. But he always used to love one-gate expansion builds, even in Wings of Liberty, and probably now so with the Mothership Core. So the veto of Neoplanet S is an interesting one, because a one-gate expand is quite strong there. So I'm actually very interested to see what style he's going to play to TitaN. TitaN is dangerous, man. He's not only from Russia, he not only plays for Rokis, his style in the game is very aggressive. Lots of Blink Stalkers. We saw his games against MC early. He wasn't quite up to MC's speed, and it would be cool to see a rematch between them. But against MaNa here, I would favor the T.
Yeah, the T. He not only... Ooh, that's a firm handshake.
Look at that. Oh, boys.
Sell down.
Oh, that was getting a little bit stressful there.
Are you up?
I thought he was going to slap him.
Yep.
As friendly banter between the both of them as they do prepare for fight.
I mean, you said it perfectly. TitaN's a scary, dangerous foe. Coming from Russia, having to fight bears all day long as a side job here, in the form of people like Slivko.
Yep.
He's a bit of a bear himself.
Oh, he's a big bear.
He's a bear.
He's a big bear. But it is time for MaNa to go up against TitaN. I would say that TitaN is the more manlier of the names.
Yep, it certainly is. MaNa calling himself after a game
Which game?
It was either Sword of Mana or Fountain. I think it was Sword of Mana.
Sort of Mana.
Sword.
Oh, Sword
Yeah.
of Mana?
Yes.
I've never heard of that, but I'm going to Google it for you.
Old game.
Sword of Mana, a Game Boy Advance game.
I've played every game.
You've played every game?
Yes.
Okay. Is it a good game,
It's a
Sword of Mana?
Very good game.
Really?
Yes.
Is it worth me playing?
I would thoroughly recommend it after you've played, of course, finished your lovely game that you're currently playing.
Yes.
Yes.
And then I have to play, is it Fire Emblem?
Fire Emblem.
Is the next one I have to
Yep.
play? And then is it this one? Is it the Sword of Mana?
Well, you can just get an emulator. Oh wait, no. I mean, you can do something different and not an. Anyway.
Do you know what's going through my mind right now? Is the
Yes.
song, the old school song, You're Going Deeper Underground. You're
Yeah.
going, you're going. Because that's what
I'm gone, man.
You're gone.
I'm gone.
But now to focus on the actual Mana on screen right now is, I say this a lot when I cast him because I've cast him quite a lot over the years, is young but experienced. Very experienced, has been playing StarCraft Brood War since like 12 years old.
Yeah.
Was playing at a good level since 13, 14 years old, and is now, what, 20 years old, I think he is? I think he's just turned 20, or I think it was 20 over the summer. And it is, 2.5 years into StarCraft 2, is 6 years in Brood War. He's been playing for a very, very long time. This is like a player that's been playing for 8 years at a good level.
Yeah, I can't remember if it's like online somewhere or if somebody just sent me it, but I've seen a picture of MaNa like a LAN when he was like 14 and he with his brother, and he looked so funny when he was younger, and it's just a mini MaNa. But now, as we go into game number 1 here, good luck to Mr. Oleg from this man spawning up to the top left-hand corner as our red Protoss representing Mouse Sports and Poland. Give it up for MaNa.
I thought MaNa's name was a take on Mana itself, like
the resource of MaNa?
Yes, yeah. I thought it was very lame if that was the case.
Oh, no.
Maybe I'll call myself HP one day.
Yeah, HP would be very nice. As we have spawned down to the bottom right-hand corner here, blue Protoss representing Russia as well as Ro16. Give it up for TitaN.
I'm pretty sure that TitaN's been on Ro16 forever and ever and ever and ever.
A long time.
A very, very long time. And he is a part of the family.
He's their strongest representative.
Absolutely. I think a couple of other players that really made a name for Ro16 is, of course, Bratok.
Yep.
Before leaving that team. And an older player by the name of Bruce was a very good player too. That was a lot older.
Bruce?
Yeah, a lot older.
That is a lot older.
That is a lot older. But anyway, focusing on this game now, I do believe in the T. I believe in Mr. T, I believe in teabagging. And that is what we're going to see from TitaN today.
Have you played a lot of Halo in the past?
No, but I love to drink tea.
Okay. All right then. Different kind.
Yes, Claris. I don't know what game you've played before.
Any
Sounds
FPS?
like you've played Halo or any FPS, but I love drinking tea.
I also love drinking tea. It's a very nice pastime.
Yep.
I don't know why I do that, tea.
I mean, that's what they're called, tea bags, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, that was interesting. Okay, we have the Cybernetics core on the way here for TitaN. And it's a little bit delayed here for MaNa.
Yeah, exactly the same build, but because MaNa's scouting out around for any proxy gateways or something, he's just a few seconds behind.
Yeah. So he's going to head off over to TitaN's base and have a look around. Now, MaNa of all the Protoss in Protoss versus Protoss is one that is a bit more aggressive, even with current meta game trends. So maybe we'll see that out of him. But TitaN already showed that he's able to go into the longer games very, very nicely. So,
Oh, I'm sorry, SC. I'm sorry, buddy.
Aww.
But the two that I wanted to advance from this group in the losers match, this is going to be hard to watch. I'm sorry about that, but at least one will be able to go up to face against MC, whether it be MaNa or the rematch for TitaN.
And if anybody wants to witch hunt anybody who wanted a load of Protoss in, go and just check out Mr. SC Swede.
Yep. Seems to be a big Protoss fan.
Seemingly so.
All right, so we have MaNa going for the double gateway and sentries. One sentry's fine. It's always nice to get that one sentry up. But on the other hand, TitaN went Zealot Stalker into Twilight Council, which is a faster Twilight Council than he tried to play with in Game 1 against MC, where he went for a sentry and got a little bit delayed on things with the Mothership core and whatnot here. But he's going to be quite aggressive. And I think this is Blink he is much more of a blink player than DT. It really is very difficult to tell nowadays because of the reduced Dark Shrine price. But with additional gateways, I do like to think this is going to be a blink attack. MaNa's former style, if it's the same or not, was very focused on trying to take a 1-gate expansion. So a Twilight Council blink play would be quite strong. But of course, DT is a very popular choice in the metagame as of recent as well. So it is going to be the Dark Shrine.
Yeah, as you said before, it is kind of harder to tell whether or not it's going to be that or blink now with that reduced cost. So there's always skepticism from us until it actually gets fully thrown down. He's going to follow this up with a robo facility as well, so he could also detect his opponent if he was going for something like that, but could even go for a Warp Prism.
Yeah, I think that may be the case eventually here, is the Zealot is going to poke up and look for the expansion. Perfect timing here from TitaN. Is it going to get the information he wants to find? Oh, he squeezes in the middle of both of them. And this is a good find, and it is exactly to the T of MaNa's order style, and it's becoming present here again that TitaN is playing towards MaNa. He has a hallucinated Phoenix in the bottom left-hand side of this map. Does he see the Dark Shrine? Because if he does, then very simply, once the robotics facility is done, he can add on an Observer.
Yep, he'll be very, very fine and dandy behind this. Sees the robo facility and does see Dark Shrine.
It's a perfect scout.
Yep, very, very nice for MaNa here in game number 1.
So he just retreats all his units up to the high ground. He has 3 sentries and would not miss a force field. I'd be very surprised if he was to miss this now.
Yeah.
Even if he does miss it, he's got units blocking the ramp anyway, by the looks of it. Oh, actually, no, the 3 Stalkers are going to go try and find the pylon where the DTs are coming from, but now all he needs to do is build an Observer. And he's fine. 1 DT is not a big investment, though, so TitaN isn't too far behind. The Nexus, as you can see, not too far behind at all, but he is building that Warp Prism, as you smartly said, to try to get some damage done inside the main base, or try to find a probe here and there.
Yeah, certainly going to need a different route of entry, and that Warp Prism will allow him to have that, as the Observer is pinned straight at the front. But MaNa also got a Forge down pretty rapidly here. Started +1, so does have the ability to throw down cannons if you would like to as well, maybe to deter if he throws down one in the main, if that Warp Prism eventually goes around there and tries to drop a Dark Templar in, but there'll be an Observer present as well, I should think.
But this is a good start for MaNa, who has the Forge down and has a +1 attack coming, and with the Twilight Council, so it doesn't seem to be like he wants to focus on Colossus. It's going to be over for the Templar style of play, which I do like. It is very strong. Colossus I do like as well, though. I think they have a lot of very good timings. I think they have a lot of good timings on a map like this too, which is very clumped up, but we are going to have the Warp Prism from TitaN, try to get some damage done with the investment that he's made. But there's Observers in the main, there's Observer on the natural, and a 3rd going across the map to scout the future plans of TitaN as well.
Yeah, so you should be able to shut down this for the majority of it. And that Dark Templar does get dropped, but he's instantly seen, so has to come back in here with the Warp Prism. And that's a little bit of a speed advantage that Warp Prisms now have. Make it a little easier to actually escape.
4 kills, though.
Oh. And then dies off. But yeah, you're right, 4 kills, not too bad.
Yeah, and now by just a little bit there, TitaN is in the lead with his economy. Killed a couple of probes on the gas there, which does slow down the gas from MaNa if TitaN was to be able to be mining from all 4 gases. Not quite there yet, but you know, a decent start for TitaN. And as mentioned, the gas investment from a Dark Shrine is not that strong, and because there's going to be a very simple transition over to the Templar tech, it makes a lot of sense to go for it a lot of the times, because you don't need to add on an additional Twilight Council. You already have it to get the Zealot charge, so it's a part of the puzzle you just get a bit earlier on.
Yep, and indeed that charge is now on the way. It's not been, well, TitaN hasn't really seen MaNa's full intentions yet with the Twilight Council and the Templar Archives. Although, did he actually move over? Yeah, he did see the Templar Archives with that Hallucinated Phoenix. So he has a bit of the information, but he doesn't see the Forge. He doesn't see how rapidly his opponent is actually upgrading right now. But as soon as he clicks on a unit or 2, he'll see +1 done.
Yeah, it makes a big difference, that the attack upgrade here. So it is a nice advantage that MaNa's had, and probably the only advantage, really, the difference between the 2 players. MaNa, majorly supply blocked here, is going to have to start 3 to 4 pylons to really get out of this efficiently.
And the Warp Prism's trying to skirt around the edges here to find an opportunity for itself, but unfortunately for TitaN, the Stalkers find more of an opportunity than anything. 3 DTs get dropped, but the Stalkers should be able to micro against this properly to actually do enough damage, even modding in Narcon for good measure in the end.
7 probes though, not bad. But MaNa also harassing, or at least scouting, with a Hallucinated Phoenix there by the looks of it. 2 Hallucinated Phoenix, and he kind of just sees the similar setup to what he has. A lot of, you know, gateways coming down, I think that is, which he has spotted. But TitaN shouldn't be looking to attack when both players, like mentioned earlier, are so similar in setups and, you know, upgrades is a little bit different, but army strengths in here. They should both be looking to expand.
Yeah, and it's great in PvP now. We've gotten away from the you know, the earlier stages of volatility, and now just transitioning into these longer games, you get to see a lot of stuff. Not necessarily that many Colossus as we normally did see with these Archon Immortal charge lot mixes, but I think that's pretty cool.
One thing to note is another advantage for MaNa, apart from his attack upgrade, is that his opponent's been spending a lot of gas on DTs, while MaNa did, as you say, got the Temple Archives much earlier, and he's moving out with 3 Archons with a +2 attack that's about to finish. He's definitely trying to come in, pick off his opponent's 3rd, and then recall out. If this is successful, he is going to be in quite a big lead here over TitaN.
And I think it has a good chance of succeeding here. The Warp Prism will eventually see this as it ends up flying over it, which will give him a good time to react in relation to what he had previously. But
yeah, is he going to get it though?
This is a great spot here for him.
That's a really nice pickup there from TitaN. Lucky in a little bit of a way, but there's force fields, there's no units that can cross those force fields, so he is going to get the cancel and just recall out here. She doesn't want to risk anything, I don't think.
He was only just morphing in an Archon, so even if he wanted to try and break down force fields there, he wasn't able to until the very last second whilst that was being cancelled. So TitaN now with a little bit of a discrepancy here, and MaNa capitalizing off it nicely.
MaNa's playing this out really well. He didn't look too strong a little bit earlier on against Vortex, but he is looking quite good here. With a 3rd base down and being able to mine, most importantly, gas from this 3rd base, he's going to be able to increase his Archon count. He definitely wants to grab the assimilators ASAP. +3 attack is on the way, and a Warp Prism shut down, unfortunately for MaNa, while TitaN's is still around. So TitaN, if he's going to find a way back in this game, it's going to be through harassment and that Warp Prism.
Yeah, and as you said before, with that +3 being as far ahead as it is here for MaNa, I think he has a very good opportunity of really doing a lot of damage once he goes for the engagement. He's ahead in almost every single way right now, aside from, obviously, in terms of supply, of course, but MaNa's powering up nicely behind this.
The one thing is that there are 5 Immortals to 1. That's something that MaNa didn't keep on building.
He's not ahead in, yeah.
So that's something that TitaN does have a lead in, but there are 5 Archons in return to that 1. So I prefer the Archons.
Yeah.
I prefer the Archons here.
I do as well.
Because, I mean, reinforcements are usually always going to be Zealots. So with the Archons in the lead for MaNa, the reinforcements are going to be very strong, because what are Immortals going to do against reinforcing Zealots? Not a lot.
Exactly, and there's only really 6 Stalkers there from either player here to really take the damage from the Immortals properly. So MaNa, I'm liking his composition right now. He sacrifices some Zealots down to the left to try and do some damage, and doesn't get anything really.
Harassment is going to continue. Not to too much effect though, as MaNa throws down the Dark Shrine of his own, having quite a bit of gas now off 3 bases. Going to try to be a little bit of a nuisance himself. But a big switch coming in for TitaN with a Robotics Bay.
But can he gather momentum with it? Oh, there's MaNa's as well.
Yeah,
here.
exactly the same timing.
Yeah, it's, but again, I think that, well, how many Archons do we have? We still have 8 Archons to 1. I think that once, well, both players add on Colossus, but there's that many Archons still. MaNa, once he gets his composition fully working, I think it's better in the end than TitaN's.
Yeah, I think MaNa's got quite a strong army here. 106 supplied at 84. And he may be able to push his advantage. Does poke in with Hallucinate Phoenix, checks out his opponent's composition here. MaNa is very strong. Wow, all of a sudden racing up in major with his supply, 171. TitaN will have a positional advantage.
And he just went straight to 4 Archons as well. 4 extra Archons, I should say.
That is nice. That helps a lot here. But oh, he needs to be down on the low ground here for his positional advantage to even work. He's just giving it away.
Oh, yeah, that Time Warp really puts a thorn in TitaN's side here, as the Time Warp is slowing down a lot of those units. Archon's in a much better position there for MaNa at the very top, but at the same time, down to the left, his army wasn't in the best of positions, and TitaN will push him back.
Yeah, TitaN was fighting from the high ground, not the best there, but also a lot of MaNa's Zealots were caught in between the pylon wall there, so we really couldn't do anything with them. So TitaN does get a little bit fortunate there. I do like the addition of the Colossus, though. Second robotics facility, wow, that's going to really power MaNa up, and it is going to become a difference because they are so similar in their army. Now that TitaN's caught up with the Archon count, it will become a big, big difference between the Colossus. The one thing that TitaN will have the longer this game goes on is the Immortal count's high for him, and they're going to be very good if they break through to the Colossus line.
Yeah, if they can get to that squishy center and just focus those down, it's going to be important to control that very, very nicely there from TitaN. If MaNa allows it, but he's setting himself up with the Warp Prism. Fourth base is going to go down for TitaN here, but it's instantaneously spotted by this Dark Templar. Should be able to shut that down pretty quickly.
Quite another close PvP here today.
Yeah.
So we saw a very close one earlier by TitaN and MC on this, but nobody's playing super fast. There's no Warp Prisms going all over the place. They're kind of focusing on their main army for the time being. MaNa did build that Dark Shrine, but we haven't really seen too much use from it, as that Dark Templar is just on the right-hand side, but not really picked off anything. But he does have a Warp Prism on this right side. Look at both of these players expanding on the same side of the map. This is a little bit silly because
yeah, it's very
they're going to be fighting, and this game could actually end a lot faster than it would be if, for example, one of them switched on the left-hand side. TitaN really wants to fight and end this soon. That's why he expanded on this side.
Yeah, he's moving to a bit more of an aggressive spot here and actually taking a supply advantage right now. His army's pretty strong as well here. He's actually just going to go straight for this. The Colossi here for MaNa, the one that he has there, does not have thermal lances just yet.
Wow.
So that's a bit of a disadvantage as well. TitaN.
That was not a good fight.
Exactly.
That was not a good fight. A lot of units here. MaNa really needs to get back to his other units.
He's got to run away as quickly as possible, but 2 extra Colossus do pop there, so MaNa should be able to hold the high ground for now.
TitaN's army is very good here. So many Immortals, so many Archons. I really miss the Immortals being here for MaNa. They help out so much. They tank a lot of damage. They deal a lot of damage. MaNa's trying to get up to a high Colossus count, even adding on Immortals of his own, but he's going to lose his 4th base, and TitaN, realizing that his army's a little bit better, choosing the aggressive stance is working in his favor.
Yeah, big swings here as MaNa tried to do some damage down to that 3rd, not really too successful. The engagement occurs once again. The Archons for MaNa are far better positioned here going into this engagement.
If he can get Zealots in there, if he can get Zealots into this, MaNa will be in good shape, but I don't think where are the reinforcements if only he can get there. Oh, TitaN harassing at the same time.
And at the same time, the Immortals for TitaN did get to that squishy center of Colossi. They killed off 1 or 2 of them, but he's going to have to fall back for now. Army supplies are far in favor of TitaN, 85 against 63 of MaNa. And TitaN's going to fall back with some very expensive units still alive.
Yeah, being able to harass at the same time as taking an equal fight, this is really hurting MaNa because he's not manning from his floor. He's actually going to be killed here as TitaN moves forward and is going to pick this up while keeping his own. Look at the income differences between the both players. Major advantage for TitaN, who with a couple of swift moves and a couple of good fights has put himself in a great position that I don't think MaNa can recover from. In a mirror matchup, you have the same tools, the same army, the same units. How can MaNa surely catch up from this deficit?
Well, he had Dark Templars mixed into his main composition, and the funny thing is that there's actually no observer for TitaN, but because he has so many Archons, they actually might just die to splash damage. Oh, and he is going to morph them into Archons there now, realizing that that would have been a bit silly.
Yeah, very silly. All right, Stargate coming down here for TitaN, looking to go over to Tempest now to start to destroy the Colossus of MaNa. It's the next part of this tech tree in this matchup.
It's a good choice.
Very good choice, but I don't think that it even needs to get up to that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, MaNa's still without a 4th base, TitaN with that. And I think the big difference is the Immortals here. It's such a big difference to have.
Yeah, certainly. Just being super productive about what he was doing earlier on with that robo facility for TitaN means that he can just get to this position, and it's
I think that the biggest turning point in this game was probably when the Archons were added on for TitaN. Before that, he was always very weak.
Yeah.
But MaNa could never capitalize. The one time he did, he caught all the Zealots behind the 3rd base, and it really wasn't working.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mishmash. It was weird.
And then when TitaN caught up with the Archon count, he not only had the same Archon size, which was the difference between most of them throughout the game, he then on top of that has all these Immortals in there too. And this is a sad game for MaNa. I think he played this out really well, but there's just small differences that separate them.
Yeah, I have to go back to that engagement on the 3rd base as well. If he had have had, you can get caught in a position when you're trying to defend, assault even, where your units are just hitting buildings and not really doing too much, or just stuck behind things. And for MaNa, that wasn't going so well. And to look at this, TitaN just making every single little step to keep himself super comfortable. Did he just kill his own
I think
Colossus?
So. I'm not sure what just happened there. Whatever happened, the Colossus died of TitaNs.
Yeah.
But replenished immediately by a bunch of Zealots, and maybe he didn't want a Colossus. Maybe he was like, nah. Nah.
I want to say the Colossal Titan, and only people who watch Attack on Titan will ever get that, but it exists. It exists, and unfortunately the Colossal Titan just died.
I don't get that.
Nope, never mind. It's
Oh,
fine.
maybe I'll get it once I start watching it.
Maybe.
Depends how many episodes I watch then.
That's true. I think it's in the first one.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
then.
it's all right.
All right, so MaNa's trying to build up his army to 200 supply so he could take maybe a fight against TitaN. TitaN now taking the 5th base. It's getting difficult here for the Polish player. I mean, it's been difficult for a while, but I'm just trying to figure out a way he could win this game, and I can't think of any at this moment. And he's probably in the same position with his 5th base, or 4th base, should I say, sorry, being destroyed quite easily by TitaN.
Yeah, Titan's, again, we said it previously, but he's just dotting all those I's and crossing all those T's right now to make sure that he wins this game. And it's a very, very important game indeed here. Actually pushes him forwards to a bit of an odd choke, but it doesn't really matter because his army supply right now is so much more in favor for him than it is for MaNa. And unfortunately for MaNa, he is going to get absolutely steamrolled. Good micro from these Colossi, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Not a good day for the Polish man here. Down 0-2 in the earlier match, and now about to lose the first game of the losers match. Remember, the loser of this best of 3 is down and out. TitaN picks up game number 1. Very strong performance from this Russian player. And I think more than anything right now, I think he's even looking past MaNa and looking at SKMC saying, I want revenge. I want to play you again.
Yeah, probably. And now MaNa here has some decisions to make about how he's going to play out his next games, about what he's going to do to defeat the TitaN. As it's going to be tough for him. TitaN showed that he was resilient in that game and was able to come back from a good position for MaNa. It was all right.
Yeah, it was good, and I think that TitaN played well. MaNa played decent too, but now he needs to figure out what exactly he needs to do coming into this next map to be able to stop himself from being knocked out in the round of 16. It is still one step further than last season, but the all-important goal, and I remember doing the winners call with him in the round of 32, he said that it's every player's goal to play at BlizzCon at the end of the year, to be top 16 in the WCS ranking. To be able to be in that position is greater than any feat right now that a StarCraft player 2 could have. To be top 16 is so special to every single one of them. Currently, MaNa sits at rank 63. He's only gained 400 points so far this season. He hasn't been playing that well. Remember, number 1 is at 5,300 points in innovation compared to MaNa down at just a miserable 400 at this point. Now is the time. If it's ever going to happen, if he wants to make that dream possible, he needs to stop it right now, beat out TitaN, go beat MC, and make his way through to the round of 8.
He certainly does, and it's going to be a tall order here. MaNa spoke to him previously, didn't seem too confident in his PvP, but that's all he's got to traverse across now. It's just Protoss, 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 and even in the round of 8, a lot of Protoss. So MaNa's got to book up his ideas.
Well, he's lost 3 games in a row, and he is very, very concentrated and thinking about what to do in this next map. Or not even that, just kind of calming himself down, preparing himself as he does see that TitaN has returned to his desk, and this next game will return. But this is a difficult foe to face. He's very strong. Despite losing against MC, he looked great. He really, really did look great, and he's in form. He's been practicing very hard these last couple of months. He's been going to the gym. He's been working out, not just on muscle building, which is one of the aspects he wants to work on, but fitness, cardio, being able to get on that running machine and have the fitness, to have the strength and the power to be able to play through long sessions, long periods of training, long tournaments, which is a common thing here in the international scene in StarCraft.
And across Heart of the Swarm here, I mean, for TitaN, when he started this broadcast, his PvP was at 73%. Losing to MC means it falls to 69%, but that's still a very good win percentage ratio here against Protoss. And MaNa is on the receiving end here of TitaN. So will he be able to battle it back as he's spawning up to the top left-hand corner as our red Protoss, representing mousesports and Poland. Could be his last game here. Give it up for mousesports MaNa. And down to the bottom left as our blue Protoss, looking to go up against SKMC once again for a bit of revenge, representing Ro16 and Russia. Give it up for TitaN.
TitaN with a very, very early scout here, or early probe move out. And I'm not sure what this is so early. Very, very early. Let's just take a quick look to see what he's looking to do.
Maybe. I mean,
I really, really, really don't think he's looking to just scout. You know, just...
you think? Because, you know, there could be that potential. It's Whirlwind, it's a map where it's 4 spawns. If he sees his opponent early, maybe he has some plans.
I don't know what it is. He's just thrown down the gateway himself anyway, but the weird part of this is MaNa really doesn't change it up too much. It's Whirlwind, it's a 4-player map.
Yeah.
It's not a map that you can cheese on very often, so I don't think he was going out there to scout cheese, but I don't really know what exactly it was. I don't know why he moved out so early.
And MaNa, he is going down to that bottom left-hand corner here. Oh, is he going straight across the map, actually? Looks like he is with his probe.
I think he may be checking for if there's anything in the middle of the map as well.
Ah, yeah, and he's just going to continue.
Just because this was such an early probe, it's so weird to see, and I'm sure it's confusing MaNa a little bit for this coming across so early.
Yeah. And even throwing down a pylon to the very south.
I mean, he's
here.
even chasing the probe just in case there was any cannon rushes or something. It just is weird in itself. It hasn't accomplished anything, apart from seeing what MaNa's doing. It really hasn't helped out at all.
Strange maneuver.
But it's just weird for MaNa to experience.
Well, let's see what TitaN is up to. Do you think from this point there's anything else TitaN would do differently, or is it just standard?
It's completely normal. He's got double gases down, he spent all his chrono boost, the second gate is completely normal, just with a very, very early probe scout. Whether it be to see if MaNa was going to just do something silly and cheese on a 4-player map, which is very, very irregular, and it isn't going to happen too often, or whether he just wanted to throw MaNa off a little bit.
He's not getting too much gas in comparison to MaNa. Keeps constantly pulling out of gas, in fact, to throw down extra buildings. So he's not too worried about how much gas he's mining here in comparison to MaNa.
Oh, he's built a Stalker first, not a Sentry. This can work in 2 ways because he has been watching very closely to what MaNa's doing, but still, he would like to know if something was coming down here tech-wise, and he'd like to get a Sentry. So I have a feeling he may throw down a 3rd gateway. But if he's throwing down a 3rd gateway here, wouldn't he have wanted to not... If he wanted to go 3-gate pressure, would he have not wanted to waste a bit of money early on with that probe scout? So that leads me to believe then it would be maybe some kind of expansion build, but with 2 extra Stalkers coming in. They're quite expensive, and another chrono boost goes into the Cybercore. Still no 3rd gateway.
So do we... yeah, you're right. I mean, I was going to ask and speculate, do we see some kind of 3-gate pressure? But maybe it's just a 2-gate poke.
It's just going to be an expansion play here.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's too late for anything if he was to be aggressive properly.
All right, well, TitaN now, he pushes away the probe. So he does not get eyes on whether or not it's going to be an expansion for TitaN just yet, does MaNa. But behind this, he's saving up nicely for his own expansion himself and positioning his Stalkers to make sure he can deny any scouts, which there is a probe actually trying to get in there. And, oh, he just slips by. So he's going to see the Nexus.
The Mothership Core. No!
Where is it? Ah! Uh-oh. Well, okay. Bye-bye. Oh, maybe not bye-bye. Oh, well, bye-bye from the Stalkers. Whee! He gets away.
Nah, he does get away. It does waste some energy, though.
Yeah.
And the Stargate, then Nexus is put down here for for TitaN, sorry. And then the expansion and the Robo thrown down here for MaNa. I clearly like the Stargate over Robotics Facility. It's very strong, of course. Robotics Facility offers no anti-air at all.
And a second Stargate here from TitaN.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Nice, I like this. Yeah. I like this a lot.
So is this just a straight focus into Void Rays?
The thing is, MaNa's going to spot it.
Oh, he is.
So now it changes completely to what it could have been.
Yup.
I do like only Void Rays at this point. But MaNa now needs to change up himself. I don't think canceling the Robo is at all smart here, but he needs to really be focused on getting Twilight Council down, the Forge down, because ideally against a lot of Void Rays, which is what we're going to see here from TitaN, MaNa needs to play very heavy with Archons. There's no other way to do it unless he goes for a 2-base Blink Stalker attack. Quite a heavy one.
There's the recall out from that Mothership core. Can you not also you try and utilize Storm against a lot of Void Rays if they go up to massive, massive amounts?
But you're only going to be able to do that once you get to 3 bases. Yeah. Because you're only going to have a couple of Storms if you're on 2 bases, and you'd much, much rather have Archons.
All right, well, we'll see what MaNa wants to do here. He has the knowledge at hand to be able to deal with this, but No, Phoenix is on the way.
He's going to have to keep on scouting to see is it Phoenixes or Void Rays, because it really can be both. Another hallucinated Phoenix is coming in. Maybe I'll spot it this time that it is Phoenixes. So then his game plan changes again a little bit here, but he sees one Phoenix and sees another one being built. So now MaNa's getting more information on what to do. Still, it should be around the Twilight Council tech. It has to be. It cannot be anything else. Whether he goes for a Blink Stalker timing or he tries to play, you know, slowly take a third base and play with Archons, that's up to him here. You know, Blink Stalker timing is dangerous. If it doesn't work, you're in trouble. Third base has a longer game plan. It lasts longer. You have more chances to win the game at different stages. But with all 4 gases taken, look how much gas MaNa has. He's definitely going for faster Templar here. It's not going to be a gateway timing. It's not going to be Blink.
Yeah, this is going to keep him a little bit more sturdy in terms of the defense. And also a great advantage of Archons is that in comparison to Immortals, like to try and kill off the ground army very quickly, Archons can't be lifted up by these Phoenix. So that's always a nice little boon here.
Yep. And the Phoenixes aren't going to get too much done here. Photon Overcharge is going to have to be Oh, it does go down eventually. One Phoenix escapes with... Oh, no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. But he does destroy the Mothership Core, but he is still good defensive. He hasn't really lost anything here. Zealot Charge is, of course, the upgrade to be used here if he's going to be using Archons, not Stalkers.
And the Phoenix still looking for a little bit of damage here, but the Photon Cannon as well as these Stalkers should be able to chase it away once again.
Yeah, he spotted the Templar Archives too. He does have the Robotics Facility coming in, so he knows he's not facing a timing, which means he can upgrade his units and get the Forge down. Void Rays are coming in. Doesn't want to focus too much on Archons. He got the Robotics Facility to build Archons. TitaN got the Robotics Facility to build Immortals if it was going to be Stalkers, but now seeing that it's going to be Templar, he's decided to go up to Colossus and add on another Forge as well. Double Forge coming in here. So definitely both players are going to look towards their third bases. I mean, I pretty much kind of said what they're looking to do here. I'm trying to think of their plan after this, but it's just going to be a longer game.
Now, normally you don't see too much of a focus on armor upgrades in this matchup. So does TitaN do that, or does he say, I want shield upgrades to not only benefit, you know, maybe Archons if I get them later on, but also my air units?
Definitely armor here. Definitely armor. Armor is going to be very, very good because, yes, shields helps kind of everything, but armor is going to be much more useful if he's going to power through with Zealots, which is a lot of the time comes true here.
All right, well, he chases away the Phoenix again. He's actually done a good job of denying those Phoenixes from doing a huge amount of damage.
Unless he wants to play with air more heavily, then that's a different case. But it should be armor. But he's not researched anything yet, which is a little bit weird.
He's a bit undecided. Maybe he forgot the first Forge.
But with MaNa being so direct with his build, he's already up to +2. And that's quite strong. He's got a decent amount of Archons in. Adding on a couple more gateways, now he's taking his third base. MaNa's not in a bad position here. Not bad at all.
Yeah, +2 weapons is coming out at a very nice time. And 3 probes in production at any time, so he's going to be going up to...
Oh, wait a minute, he cancelled the second Forge.
Oh,
okay, that's why, yeah, that's why.
All right.
I cancelled it, yeah.
I was going to say, it's a little bit stranger to get double Forge in this matchup because weapons is so much a focal point in comparison to armor that you very rarely see anybody deviate from just weapons.
TitaN's out of position, ladies and gentlemen, with his army.
He certainly is.
Very much so out of position. If MaNa is able to get in here and kill this third base, he gets a bit of an advantage like he did previously. I think it was in the previous game he did that.
Yeah, he did. He forced the cancellation. He throws down force fields.
But this is a completed Nexus.
Yeah.
Which is a lot bigger than a cancel on a semi-half complete one.
A guaranteed kill there. Fantastic pickup for MaNa in game number 2. And even if he wants to, he can recall out, or he can just try and walk out. But that army's not going to engage. Those Archons are very, very tanky indeed. He's actually not engaging with 2 of his Archons. They have to come and help this out if he's just going to go straight for it. But MaNa here taking a substantial supply lead, and great time warps as well deny the retreat out of these Zealots that are not able to be mobile at all.
Yeah, good fight here by MaNa. Very, very, very good fight. And with all these Archons coming in, TitaN's not ready yet. He's trying to get over to Colossus, remember. But MaNa comes in. This probably wasn't a timing to kill him and win the game, but it was.
Wow.
It wins anyway. And an excellent game from both parties, I would like to say there. Lots of decision-making, lots of adapting, and that is what PvP is really boiling down to nowadays. With the use of the Hallucinated Phoenix everywhere, you get to see what he's doing, and you get to react. MaNa made every decision perfect.
Very, very cool by the Polish player here as he ties up the series, keeping his hopes alive to try and advance on to the round of 8. But likewise, TitaN, he is going to look at that second game and say, well, if my army wasn't in an odd position, if my scouting in the middle of the map was a little bit better, maybe I would have been able to prevent that eventuality.
Yeah, but I mean, his use of double Stargate here, scouted so easily, didn't really do anything. You know, what really did double Stargate provide for him in this game?
Not much.
He built a single Void Ray. Sure, a bit of single Void Ray does a little bit of damage. Maybe a couple of Phoenixes add a bit more to the army, but he didn't get any harassment done. He didn't kill any probes. He didn't do anything. And if you don't do something with units you build, then the game's not going to go well.
And the thing is that, you know, with that double Stargate, he probably could have achieved exactly what he did with one Stargate, right?
Yeah.
Like, he had, what, 4 Phoenix flying around?
Yeah.
A few Void Rays. That could have happened on one Stargate, so the investment just was not working out for him. Game number 3 now on the way here, as these two face off to see who will play against MC for that final spot in the round of 8. As we have spawning down to the bottom right-hand corner, the Polish representative, as well as representing Mousesports. Give it up for Mousesports MaNa. And then down to the bottom left, our Russian representative, as well as Ro16. Give it up for Ro16 TitaN.
Pretty good PvP series so far. Going into game number 3 now. Don't really know how this map is going to shape up for both players. Some Protoss players do like to try to get a Nexus on this game quite early, but other players also like to punish it because it is a little bit more difficult to establish a Nexus on. Much larger natural area, big ramp, very big ramp actually.
Spots to sit outside of in terms of photon overcharge, especially in the main. Just a little lip in between the bases that is easier to exploit when you go for a bit of aggression. Proxy
Stargate's also quite popular on this map because it is a 2-player map. They know where they've spawned. It could be, you know, close by air. It could be down by the other side of the natural. There's a couple of locations for it. MaNa here is scouting around, checking for any proxies if there were to be a couple of gateways on his natural.
Making sure nothing's crazy is going on. That's important here, as desperate times call for desperate measures in the final game to determine who advances on to play MC and who falls down back to Challenger. You want to win this game and advance onto the round of 8, because then you guarantee yourself Premiership status next season as well.
Yes, that is important. It's also money. It's $1,000 every season just to be in the Premier League.
Yeah.
MaNa without a second gas yet, which is a little bit weird. TitaN throwing down his Cybernet score inside his main base. Quite normal opening for TitaN. Second gas does come down though, so that's fine by MaNa, but it is a more mineral-focused opening, which means either going up to double gateway straight away, could be 3 gateways, could be Nexus. Those are the main builds that come from a later gas here.
I think what we'll see is the efforts to go into a longer game again. Anybody...
By both, you think?
I think so. Any kind of attempts at going for aggression here in a very, very pivotal game is going to be, whilst you mentioned earlier that it is a little bit easier on this map, I think it's a big risk. It's also a big risk.
Make or break map.
Yeah.
Mothership core is coming out here for MaNa, which we should want to go across the map to have a bit of a scout, at least to check the base close to him to make sure there's nothing proxied. But upon seeing double gateway, shouldn't really think that anyway. But if he can get across with a Zealot on the low ground, Mothership core poke in the main base, he may be able to pick up some information, which could give him an edge in the game. For example, if he was to see the Twilight Council being chrono boosted or being researched from, then he could go over to building Immortals quite early. He could get the Observer out if he thought it was DTs. So it is a nice scout. Both players are going to attempt it. It is a map that they are close by air, so it is quite common for this to happen. The Mothership's core is completely safe.
That probe actually hanging out up to the north as well here, while that Stalker is unable to see it just yet for TitaN. TitaN's playing the more defensive route with the expansion here. The Sentry was already coming out, and the Robo.
The Robo down is very uncommon.
What's on your mind, Sean?
Is it an older school, like, 1 Colossus push?
Wow, actually, yeah, that's really old school if you were to go for something like that.
I don't know. I actually don't know what this is.
Well, this is
It's either very, very safe, or it's something crazy, but it may be very, very safe.
I think maybe very, very safe.
Yeah.
He sees the expansion, and well, look how much he's actually saving up here with the probe in position to go for the expansion as well.
It's just very safe.
Yeah.
Very safe.
But surprising as well. I was not expecting this. The Zealot's going to die off, but not really getting too much, one would think.
Yeah, he's just making sure that if there was something coming down, he could get the Observer out faster for DTs, and also gets down the Immortal out faster if there was to be aggression. But as we can see, that's not the case.
Yeah.
One thing that could work out for MaNa is because he knows his opponent's expanded, the most likely tech choice behind an expansion is Robotics Facility for the Immortal and Observer. What I'd love to see from him is actually a Warp Prism quite early on in this game. Maybe one Immortal Warp Prism, maybe a couple of Zealots, maybe two Immortals, then a Warp Prism. I think that's one of the strongest openings against a player who's doing the same. What really does he have apart from the Mothership Core and the Photon Overcharge to deflect something like that?
The Chrono Boost is going into that Robo Facility for MaNa, or it was just before, so you can get that Immortal out quickly for defensive capabilities. But he sacrificed, I would say, some supply advantage here to TitaN in regards to his build. And TitaN, with his Nexus finishing up a little bit quicker, he's going to start that double probe production quicker.
Well, TitaN probably has about 30 seconds worth of 300 extra minerals a minute. So that's like an extra 150 minerals. So he has an extra 150 minerals through being in this position, mining from his natural faster, which, yes, does give him a supply lead.
And even kills off a pylon as well, which had the potential of supply blocking MaNa, but did not. Just barely there in the end. And even throwing down his gases at his natural as well. So that gas advantage, again, if MaNa delays them on his natural, which he shouldn't be doing for too long, might add up here as well for time.
Warp Prism on the way. Cha-ching!
Yum yum.
All right, cool. I like this a lot. Going to be putting two Immortals in there. Going to be doing some harassment. TitaN, double Forge. Oh, no, single Forge again. And Twilight Capsule. But MaNa is going to be able to do a lot of damage here. The Photon Overcharge, of course, will push it away from one base for a little while.
Oh, he's going to see it pop.
That is lucky.
He's going to see it pop.
That is lucky, lucky.
Very nicely done here by TitaN. Hallucinated Phoenix have just changed, I would say, every matchup now. You know, you didn't see hallucinations so much in Wings of Liberty. Some people got it, but now if Protoss want, they can have a lot of scouting intel.
Yeah, winner, chicken dinner there for TitaN.
Yum yum.
And he throws down a Stargate immediately in retaliation. So he should be wanting to go over to Void Rays here. This is a very focused Robotics Facility style play from MaNa. May even go over to Colossus from this position. And that's obviously going to be really good if you can get Void Rays in the mix. Void Ray charges down the Warp Prism incredibly fast.
God, he has so much intel regarding this. He just pushes this away. MaNa, I will be surprised if he actually did a lot of damage with this. Maybe he drops them and gets 1 or 2 units. But aside from that, I don't see much else happening. Yeah,
there's not a lot happening here, and it's quite a big investment for this. Well, not too big, it's only 200 minerals. But of course, the Immortals aren't at home. What is MaNa doing out in the middle of the map with these units? What the hell are you doing here?
He only has 1 extra gateway going down.
What I think he might be trying to do is to force field the ramp.
Oh, actually.
Because he's obviously pulling all the units into the main base here. And if he force fields the ramp and then flies over the force fields and drops the Immortals, and then warps in more units,
just this small contingent of 4 units could actually do this. Oh, doesn't want to lose that Warp Prism.
He doesn't want to. Oh, the Warp Prism's not.
Oh, no. Oh, that was so expensive.
But now he's going to lose these units too if he's not careful. Of course he can recall. It was a really beautiful move, but oh, that could have been so much better.
Oh, Photon Overcharge here as well, preventing a lot of that. There's the recall, and MaNa, a great idea, but the execution was not there.
It was really nice from TitaN to move on an army to that upper ground area at the south position.
Oh, yeah.
Really, really smart. But disaster has struck for the Polish player now, who is behind in upgrades, who is behind in army supply. He is equal in economy, but...
And look what TitaN does. He throws down a third base.
It's such a great decision. Such a good decision to throw that down. Because he knows that his opponent's behind in army, and he knows he's equal in economy, but not anymore. And now he has his own Warp Prism. MaNa is all over the shop here.
You can do that, I can do that too. And
MaNa doesn't have a Stargate. MaNa doesn't have anything to stop this. The Stargate wasn't even used because it was cleaned up so easy.
Yeah.
Oh, disaster.
And now High Templars on the way for both players here, but TitaN with that third base going down is going to have superior advantages by the bucket load here. Killing off a few probes as well with these Immortals. Very, very nice for him.
Very strong play coming out from TitaN, because not only is he taking a third, is that MaNa, how the hell is MaNa going to punish it? Unless this goes down. Because MaNa is going to be held back all the time, because if MaNa moves out to try to do something, which he does know the third is down, by the way, The Warp Prism goes in. There's 4 extra gateways finishing up for TitaN as well as +2 attack. MaNa is in so much trouble. I cannot stress how much trouble he's in.
A tough position for MaNa now. How can he claw his way back from this? As, well, he's going to try and take a third up to the top position. I like this. I like expanding away from your opponent. Taking that pocket expansion would have just been too close to TitaN here.
Yeah, well, he would have been in trouble. But TitaN's a crazy guy who probably could attack any minute.
Yeah.
Because he's actually that crazy. He's going across to scout if his opponent has a third base, and that may be an option on the menu for him. As soon as he sees it, he very well may do that because he's got a lot of gateways finishing up now. I think he's at 8 gateways with 3 more coming, so 11. It's quite a lot.
Yeah, an army supply 61 to 43 right now in favor of TitaN.
Yeah, I think he attacks here.
Yeah, he's gonna be in a good position too. And what does he have? He has the Immortal advantage, he has the Archon advantage, he has the Zealot advantage. Everything is in TitaN's favor right now. How can MaNa hold on?
Oh, well, MaNa sees it. He sees it coming. He knows this is a very, very high option for TitaN to do this. It's so smart, it's so simple. You know, once you understand exactly what your opponent's doing, you understand the position you're in, and both of these players are great Protoss players, TitaN's going to come for an attack here, I think. He doesn't have to, of course, with +3 attack on the way. There's no problem just playing the game longer and taking a 4th, but TitaN's a player that loves aggression, he loves to fight, he loves to be active, he loves to micro, and this is his perfect opportunity to do so. Send Zealots to the north, and is going to pull MaNa onto the low ground, and this is going to be so bad. He's got the fish hook. He's got the fishing rod, and he's fishing the rod, and he's throwing it on top of this army, and it's going to come down to the low ground when these Zealots go up there, and that's when TitaN's going to come in, and he's going to eat his dinner.
Yeah, and MaNa, unfortunately for him, he has no idea about this. The lure has hit him hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
As now
Here he comes. Look at this.
This is going to be brutal. He might catch a lot of these Zealots, but at the same time, the army is now greatly positioned.
He's looking for the fight. He's buffed up. He's took his protein shake. He's ready to go.
He's ready to go. Whoop, lost his mothership core, I think. But, yes, he did. He lost his mothership core. But he's losing a lot of probes.
And he's going to lose more in his third too. Remember, the Zealots are still up there. They ran away. They're going to go back in again. And this is the time where, look at the position he set up. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful.
That concave.
Look at that. That's actually fantastic. That's absolutely beautiful.
Well, the Zealots actually charge in, and they're going to be able to tank a lot of damage along with these Archons doing the damage as well.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for MaNa, his Archons were not doing the damage at the very beginning of this fight. So now TitaN takes a significant supply lead here, really forcing MaNa back, almost doubling his supply, and indeed now is, with a great force field on the ramp as well. TitaN looking so good against MaNa here in PvP.
Yeah, well played, good look. Respect from MaNa saying this guy is good. Well played, TitaN, and he gets his revenge match because next he will go up against MC, and MaNa probably says, you know, well played, and I wish you the best of luck going up against SKMC in the final match to determine who is in the quarterfinals.
And TitaN's going to have to step it up after the first series, but you know, he's going to evaluate that and take it in his stride here. Carmack going over to consolidate his countrymen as Poland fighting.
Yeah, Poland fighting, but round of 16's good, but no further than that. As they do talk against each other, and it all came down to that Warp Prism. It all came down to that.
Oh, yeah.
When that lost and then losing some units on the natural, not doing anything, the game just fell apart for MaNa. But all credit goes to TitaN, who really did play a very strong game. But I want to point out something. Yes, that's a good game for TitaN to get back into rhythm to beat out MC. But guess what that Panda's been doing meanwhile? He's just been watching these games saying, all right, TitaN, I've seen that you can throw in a double Stargate build. I see that how you play. You're very Zealot Archon Immortal focus. And I think the brain of SKMC is probably ticking in a way to beat out TitaN here.
There he is.
There he is. And doesn't look like he's thinking too much about how to beat TitaN. But I'm sure he is, I swear.
He probably is. All right, guys, we can send it over to an interview with our winner, Mr. Ro16 TitaN with Red Eye.
Thanks very much, guys. Yes, I am with Ro16 TitaN, winner of that last match in a 2-1 thrilling game against MaNa, and you have moved on to play MC. In your own words, how difficult a matchup was that with MaNa?
Oh, I know about MaNa always play like solid. He never makes any cheeses. That's why when I started, it was not too hard to know what he will do. So that's why I don't know how to say. I know about he will not make some special, and I know it. Sorry, my English.
Your English is fine, please. It's absolutely fine.
As you Russian.
As my Russian is very bad, very, very bad. I think I give no one word. So the second map didn't go very well, and
Whirlwind?
yeah, it didn't. I mean,
I think it to support will be nice, but I am failed because I have not enough resource. First I need make robot observer, kill his observer, and then make 2 starports. And then I lost 5 Phoenixes, and he play versus Phoenixes really well, much better than versus standard.
okay. Well, congratulations, you are through. MC is next. How do you approach that match against MC? Is it the same kind of feeling that you have with MaNa, or is there something different?
I don't know.
Hello, MaNa.
Just we'll see. I will do my best.
All right. Well, congratulations from MaNa there as well. Very sporting. Thank you, TitaN. TitaN is moving on to one last game. It's TitaN versus MC coming up next. Who's going to take the final place in the round of 8? It's time to go over to some analysis now with Apollo.
Thank you, Red Eye. We're going to be looking at one moment in this game. Not so much analysis, so much of a breakdown, but more of a recap, more of a tribute to what TitaN played, and just kind of his army movement to be able to pick up this game. Because as mentioned in the commentary, it really did come down to one big move from TitaN, which won the game, or, if you want to look at it in the negative way, one mistake from MaNa. So what ends up happening here is he decides to send 3 Stalkers and 2 Sentries to cut off the Warp Prism, who's going back and forth like this in between the main and then this base down here. And then all that he needs to do, if he picks off this, he realizes how much trouble MaNa is in. It's a very expensive Warp Prism. And it really is a very beautiful play. It comes in, and TitaN is getting ready for this. He forces the lift up with the double Immortals. MaNa backs out, because in the meantime, MaNa's got this other plan. He's not thinking about this. He's got this other plan here to force field onto the ramp, and I promise you that his Warp Prism would have swung around, it would have dropped the Immortals, he would have warped in a bunch of Zealots, and at that point, MaNa probably could have destroyed the Nexus and won the game. But unfortunately for him, TitaN was on top of things, and with these, and a lack of attention to his units, the Warp Prism died. And from this point out, it was game, unfortunately, for MaNa, and in a very very decisive PvP, small mistakes happen, and it does cost you the game. So that's what we wanted to look at here, just to reinforce that point. So Red Eye, over to you.
Thanks very much, Sean. Yes, we are just one game away from finishing off Group D. It's flown this week, hasn't it? It's gone so quickly. From Monday, when the tears of joy from Grubby, through Stefano's retirement, the return of Naniwa, to today's absolute demolition by Vortex. We are just one game away from finding out who goes through to the quarterfinals. Keep your tweets coming. They've been fantastic, although the one about Miley Cyrus is mighty confusing. Nevertheless, keep them coming in #WCS, and if you prefer Facebook, that's facebook.com/StarCraft. Quick break now, and when we come back, the final game, it's TitaN versus MC.